Yo, what is good, y'all? We are back with another book review. As you can tell from the title, the book review is about the book All About Love. Why does my voice sound like that? Hang on, let me get some water. All right, I think I'm good. Little change of scenery. I'm currently in my living room. Usually I don't film in the living room, but I'm filming it now just because it looks a whole lot nicer. I got the whole crib to myself, so I was like, you know what? Let me try to spice it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And to let y'all know, I will be 100% honest, I did not finish reading this book. Although I didn't finish reading the book, I still got some good things out of it that I think will help me become the person I want to be. Yeah, so I guess my outlook changed after reading this book. At first I was focused on how can I make people love me, and now I'm more so focused on how can I be loving towards others and myself. Although I said I didn't finish reading the book, I'm still gonna review it because like I said, I got some good things out of it. Now that I think about it, if I sound funny, it's probably because these last 2 days we're holding a track camp, and so my voice is just kind of sounds funny. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Start off, first thing, what is love? One of the biggest things this book actually challenged me with is trying to figure out what love actually is. Before reading this book, I found love as trying to find it within another person, or it's something that you kind of just feel. But this book actually argued that love is all about wanting to see others grow and helping others whenever they need it. The one person I thought about when it came to wanting to see others grow is actually my mom. When I was younger, she'd always get on my butt whenever I wanted to go out and hang out with friends, and she would always, I don't know, she'd always feel a certain type of way about it. It's almost like she was scared that something was gonna happen. And so she would tell me, oh, Malikye, I don't think you should go out tonight and hang out. I want you to stay at home. And I would just get so irritated because the way she would explain it, it was almost as if she didn't trust me. But now that I've looked back and realized it, she didn't want me to go hang out with my friends is because she didn't trust my friends and the people around me. And what I thought was crazy is that those people that she didn't trust, my friends, I don't have relationships with those people anymore. So it kind of just shows that although it may have seemed like she was untrustworthy of me, she actually trusted me the most. She just saw that the people around me weren't people I should be with because they might bring me down. Yeah, I could just say I'm very appreciative of my mom for that, because my mom's probably watching this and she's probably gonna be so happy when I say this, but she was basically right about everything. Everything she always overthought within my life, she was right for the most part. There were times where she wasn't, but whenever it was anything important that I needed to learn from, for the most part, she was right. So just wanna thank my mom for, I guess, being right. Love is just about wanting to help others grow and yourself grow, and I think my mom was a perfect example of that. Second one, fear versus love. The book kind of talks about how people want love but don't have the courage to embrace it or go after it. And when I thought about that, I high-key realized that fear has ruined my outlook on my dating life, I guess. For me, I actually find it pretty easy to trust women at the very start when I'm talking with them, just because like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to just go into it already thinking like I can't trust them. I want to already have that trust to begin with because I just want to give them a fair chance. But once I do find myself talking to that person for a long time and I end up catching them in lies, that's when I start to not so much overthink, but just lose having that trust. And when it's happened so many times, it's hard to keep wanting to start with that trust from the very beginning. And I think I've realized that all the walls that I build aren't because I don't care, because I do. I think it's just simply because I'm afraid of getting hurt, in a sense. That sounds so depressing, but it's facts. Next up, being honest. The book talked about how honesty can go a long way. Not only being honest with those around you, like the people you're talking to, but also being honest with yourself. I think it's pretty obvious that all of us tend to lie sometimes, whether that's to protect someone's feelings or just to gain power, I guess. But I found myself kind of lying, not so much to others a lot, but to myself. Yeah, whenever I'm talking to women and I end up getting really close to them, and then those things fade away, like that relationship or that talking stage, I guess, is no more, I always find myself lying to myself. And this, for example, I just got out of a talking stage with somebody, and my homie, they'll be like, "Hey, Kai, are you over her?" And like, I'll lie to myself and be like, "Oh yeah, bro, I'm totally over her. Like, whatever she does, I'm cool with. Like, I'm go on with my life." And to a point, I'm telling the truth. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna move on and go about my life. But when I sit there and lie, I basically tell myself, forget about that person. And I replay that same thing over and over again in my head, saying, "Oh yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna forget about that person." But yeah, the truth tends to overpower the lies. So instead of actually forgetting about that person and saying I'm over it like I said I was, I end up finding myself thinking about that person quite a bit. I'm still trying to figure out if it's more so just because the things that were said from that person or the actions that person did or showed, or if it's actually because I found a genuine interest in that person. Like I said, not only because of their actions, but because of their looks. Yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that I lie to myself a lot, and I need to start being truthful with my feelings, because the more and more I lie to myself, the more and more I find myself getting even more hurt, and I need to just embrace those feelings I have towards that person. What I want y'all to get from that is, don't lie to yourself. Always be honest with how you feel. If you feel a certain type of way, don't try to hide those feelings and lie to yourself. Be open and honest. Talk about it with people. Talk about it with your homies. Talk about it with your girls. Just be open and honest about how you feel. Next up, learn to love yourself. I think some people may think this is pretty self-explanatory, but you're not gonna find the love that you want if you don't find that love within yourself. How are you gonna make somebody love you when you don't even love yourself, you know? For example, like back in high school, I think the one thing I struggled with the most was confidence within myself. And I was super, super insecure. People could say the smallest thing, literally anything, and I would just get super angry and defensive about it. I think looking back at it, it was because I haven't fully accepted myself yet. I just found it really hard to be myself around others, and I was always trying to make others like me and trying to be somebody I'm not. Yeah, I think if I would have had love for myself and actually been more confident in high school, I definitely would have loved people differently and acted differently towards some of those people. Maybe I could have realized what my mom was saying to me was actually true, and those people that I was hanging around with weren't truly caring of my feelings. And even then, maybe not thinking so much about what they could have done different, but what I could have done different in a sense of being nicer. Because in high school, I was also very rude because I was so insecure. So yeah, I'll just find myself saying things I regret saying. So with that, love yourself, be confident in yourself, listen to what others say to you or about you, but don't let it bring you down. Accept it, embrace it, and at the end of the day, you know who you are. The others around you, they only know certain aspects of you. They don't actually know you because they aren't you. So yeah, just be yourself and love yourself. Next, love through faith. Just to start off, this is not me preaching religion on any of you guys. This is honestly what it's talking about in the book, because I believe, what's her name? The author, Bell Hooks, she's religious herself, and so this stood out to me because I am a man that is I am a man that is religious. I'm Christian. Yeah, one of the things I observed from people is that sometimes we can, when I say we, I mean religious people, we get so caught up on trying to tell others what they should believe in that we forget to actually love them first. And I think hearing that challenged me because I think one of God's biggest commands is to be loving. If you don't do things through love, then none of it matters, you know? So it made me think people should experience that love whenever they're around me. When people are around me, I want them to feel like I actually care about them, because I do. I don't know, I just want to have that conversation between two people where we can learn from each other rather than feeling like we don't always see eye to eye. And like there are gonna be cases where you don't see eye to eye with that person, but rather than arguing with them and being resentful and hateful, be understanding and be willing to hear that person out. Next up, what I see myself becoming. Before I read a bunch of these books that I've read, I realized that I've been so caught up on trying to find answers about relationships and basically just trying to change the way people think about me rather than trying to actually change myself. And I think I've done a pretty good job changing that. I think now I'm a person who genuinely loves learning from people and giving to people. And what's crazy is that I've actually found that I usually learn the most after I've tried to help somebody grow in their own way. Whether that's coaching an athlete, having a deep conversation with somebody, or even making these book reviews. I find so much joy seeing other people improve because I'm trying to go through a change myself and trying to become a great person. So when I see people go through the same thing as me, where they start at their lowest, I don't know. I just think it's cool to see people grow in that sort of way. With that, I think the book reminded me that love isn't always about finding the person. It's about becoming that person for someone else and becoming a person to make others around them better. Yeah, overall, I don't even want to downplay the book because it was actually a decent book. I'd say it was like a 7 out of 10. The ideas were pretty good. It was just very hard to follow the writing style, and it was hard to follow the author's train of thought. I don't know if it was because I was taking so many breaks between reading each chapter or what, but yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a difficult read. Even so, I don't regret reading it because I think we can all learn something even if we don't feel like it did a whole lot for us. Yeah, we can just always find something out of nothing, I guess. I don't know. Does that make sense? This will be the next book I am reading. This one might be a minute until you see another book review. I can't lie, because this one is pretty thick. It's like 500 some pages, but the book is The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Yeah, I'm just super excited to read this book. I think I'm gonna have a good time reading this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that short little book review. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.